some kind of bird. Wonder what that is. I heard owls last night, and there were stars, and it smells so good this morning. It smells like the Sierras when there's still snow on the ground. But there's no snow here. But it smells like that. The world is waking up. Well, I decided to get a somewhat earlier start today because it's nice and cold, and yesterday was so hot. So I want to enjoy some cool weather hiking. And I just saw some faint bear prints. So my first bear prints. Now I'm headed down Piru Creek Trail, which is a red diamond motorcycle trail. I'm not sure what red diamond means. So my next goal is Big Spring. I think red diamond means you're gonna die. I found a glove. I debated whether or not to pick it up, but then I thought maybe I'll find its partner, and even if I don't, this could help get me through Buck Creek, because all I have are these fingerless gloves. I forgot to bring my leather ones. Oh my, there's a tick on me. I found a tent. It's all buried. Some of it's over there. I find a lot of stuff on motorcycle trails. This place is, it says Sunset Camp, and it's a place called Lockwood Flat. I saw some ducks jump out of the water there when they saw me, and well, behind all these trees is a really nice campsite. I couldn't figure out how to get there. I probably have to cross the creek first, but I hope I can find the right trail, because there's a lot of trails around here, and the motorcycles, they just kind of go all over the place. It's sort of hard to follow motorcycle trails a little bit, but I'll figure it out. I think I gotta go all the way up there into those trees, way up there. Oh my God, this motorcycle road has been about as steep as, maybe steeper than going up to Pine Mountain Lodge. But I think maybe that's Alamo Mountain. And if I see a side trail, it doesn't look like it would be that hard to get to the top. So I might actually be a peak bagger today, of all things. The trail is, or the Jeep road is sort of leveled off here for a minute, but I'm sure it'll start up again real steep. I started up the hill from way down there. I came down the creek from this direction, and you can see the road. I'm up here with all the big peaks. I don't know which one is which, but like Fraser Mountain and Mount Pinos and all those. So I'm almost as high as those. And then I think way Out there is like the Hatchery Mountains. Pretty exciting. That was 3 miles. That about killed me. Oh my God. How does anyone drive a Jeep up that? You would have to drive a Jeep with no roof, because you'd be pointing straight up to the sky. You wouldn't be able to see where you're going. It was so steep. And there were so many car parts and motorcycle parts and brake levers and giant bolts that looked really important for holding things together. Oh my God. I can't believe I made it. This is Dutchman. Not quite at the top. There's some campsites here and a toilet. There's a campsite. I hope to find a picnic table, but those nice logs will do. Okay, nope, it's locked. What is that? Urine? Gross. Oh, break time. It's pretty cold and lonely up here. And it says U.S. fee area. How are you supposed to pay your fees? Looks like I'm like at 6,700 feet or so. And then Alamo Mountain is like 7,000 and something. I think after that huge climb, I don't think I have any energy for Alamo Mountain. Not especially because it looks like pickup sticks all the way to the top of giant fallen trees. Looks like I just sort of contour along, so it's going to be a little easier for a while, which will be kind of nice. There's so much garbage in this campground. I mean, I just walked around and there's all these, it's like zip ties everywhere. Somebody lost every bit of zip tie they brought with them, and a little bread bag, attachers and parts of people's motorcycles and little bits of rope and bottles and just crap everywhere. It's pretty sad, but I'm not going to carry it all out. So I'm on my way to Big Spring, and this climb up was about 3,000 feet. I mean 3 miles, and it looks like it's even farther than that to get to Big Spring. So it's about noon. I'll probably have to just find a spot to stop and eat and not eat at Big Spring. Look at that view. So that valley way out there, the San Andreas Fault runs right through there. And then look at this river valley that comes through here. Wow, it's amazing. And then I was like way down there when I started my climb. And then coming this way, that's looking out like I don't know if they show up, but all of those faint mountains out there would be kind of like where, what do you call that, the grapevine? Highway 5 kind of goes up and over and then down into the valley. And then all those mountains would be like the Tehachapi's and the Southern Sahara's sort of meeting together. It's kind of a geologically interesting area to be. And it's really pretty up here, even though it is very lonely. Circumnavigating this Alamo Mountain, and like out there is the Antelope Valley, and I guess this closer in is Hungry Valley. And then I come around and look at the marine layer flowing in. Wow. And like the PCT is up on top of those mountains, and then it kind of drops down into the valley and then crosses over along the aqueduct. I'm surprised that I can't see any of the windmills, but maybe it's just a little too hazy. But it's kind of nice just sort of traversing rather than struggling. This is just amazing. Wow. So I guess down there is Gold Hill motorcycle trail or Jeep road or whatever it is. And so my idea was I would go down the Snowy Creek motorcycle trail and then up the Buck Creek trail. But you know, that time I went down it, it was pretty bad. So if I decide going up it sucks, I can always come back and come up the Gold Hill motorcycle trail. But that looks kind of brutal. I'm pretty sure that Buck Creek will be fine. I mean, it'll be a slog of down trees and wild roses and ferns and stuff. But it should be pretty. I'm starting to get back to the trees, out of the desert and back to the trees. It should be nice. Well, I've arrived at a spring. It just says spring on the map. It's not Big Spring, but it's an actual spring. So that's good to know if you're ever up here and you need water. It's kind of gross, but maybe it's a good spot to sit and have some lunch. It's a Stiller's jay. So I'm at a junction with Twin Pines Campground. Looks like it goes pretty steeply up that way. And then my route is this way. And then I think there's other stuff going this way. Maybe it's that Gold Hill motorcycle trail. Have to look at the map again. But continuing forward. Stiller's jays are just not having it. Here's the junction with the Gold Hill motorcycle trail. So 3 miles since the camp, and I'm going towards the Snowy Trail. So 2 miles to the Snowy Trail, but I was gonna take a peek at the Big Spring, which looks like a considerable drop. But I want to get some water. I'm gonna have to do it. Oh man, the last place I took a video, that junction, that was the way to the Big Spring. And it's a really long way till I get water again, so I gotta backtrack like about half a mile. Oh man, what a bummer. So you could probably put a tent right there. The trough water was unappealing, but it was probably actually better than this water. I had to filter it through a bandana, but then it came out real clear. So I have about 4 liters of water, but it's a long way down to Snowy Creek. So I have the freedom to camp anywhere I want to between here and Snowy Creek, which I don't know how many miles it is, but it's quite a few. So this view isn't quite as good as what I've been able to see kind of peeking around corners, but it's like I'm at the top of the world, the top of the Los Padres. There's all these huge peaks here. There's Snowy Peak and White Mountain and Black Mountain and Cobblestone, and I don't know if that's Seward Mountain right there. I think that might be Snowy there, and then next one would be White Mountain. But it's like these are all like in the 100 Peaks Club, and they're over 6,000, and I don't know, they're just all right here. And it's when I did that hike where I went, so I went down and then I went over to those mountains over there. Those are the Libre Mountains, and the Pacific Crest Trail's over there. And I would look back and my God, these mountains are huge. It's a really stunning, spectacular place to be. It's really exciting. So I'm at the Snowy Motorcycle Trail. An alternate I could do would be to go return to the scene of the crime and go over to the Buck Creek Trail, and then take it to what I did not know was the Big Cedar Creek Trail. That goes to Seven Pines, but I'm gonna take this. People have hiked on it recently, or motorcycled on it recently, and I've never done it before, so it's new. So far, so good. I can see all kinds of trails. Like there's one way over there. Maybe that's Big Cedar Creek Trail. I don't know. I don't know my way around. There's something coming zigzagging down right there. So, yeah, it should be interesting. Oh, this trail is like, needs some TLC, but look at this. It goes right down there, so I don't have to do any of that, thank God. Well, I made it down to the bottom, to the canyon. Once the trees stopped being crashed all over the trail, it was pretty smooth sailing, but pretty steep. So this day is turning out a lot longer than I expected. So now I gotta find a nice place to camp. So I think this might be the trail that comes down from Seven Pines Campground, but I don't think I want to climb that much. It's almost 5 and I'm kind of tired, so I'm just going to continue down and find either a place to camp or maybe the Baker cabin site or something. There's got to be something down here. Oh, I'm wrong. here's the junction, and this is totally familiar to me. It comes down and then it just swoops. I remember that the trail did that. It did a lot of swooping. So yeah, I'm still gonna skip Seven Pines and come down here and see what we got. Looks like wild roses. Yay. Well, the map says there's something here called Snowy Forest Camp, and I wandered all over the place, and I don't know, sometimes I see some suspicious rocks, but I don't see anything that looks like a camp. So Snowy Forest Camp is going to be what I make it, which is going to be right here. There you go. There's Snowy Forest Camp. I've heard that the water in Buck Creek is the best tasting water in the world. And I gotta tell you, the water in Snowy Creek tastes like the best tasting water in the world. So I can't wait to taste that Buck Creek water.